Next year is going to be dicey. You can see the cracks already. Big institutional investors stop buying stocks. Big companies, financial institutions laying people off now. Going to be big layoffs in the media, already started there. So next year, cautious. And that is why the most important thing outside of your job and your family, taking care of both, is you got to stay close to us because we're ahead of this. And that's why, premium membership, concierge membership, all of that, if you're going to give somebody a gift, consider that. And you guys are already in, so stay with us. The Talking Points memo this evening is on the continuing madness in the media, which is going to get worse as well. They're not going to ever now support a Republican, no matter who that Republican is for president. The media will never, ever again in our lifetime support a Republican, ever. That's how deeply ingrained this progressive movement is in the corridors of power, in the leftist movement. So here is a great example. On ABC News Sunday, there was an interview on the program This Week with Martha Raddatz. So Texas Governor Abbott came on, roll the tape.
You talk about the border wall, you talk about open borders. I don't think I've ever heard President Biden say, we have an open border, come on over. But people I have heard say it are you, are former President Trump, or Ron DeSantis. That message reverberates in Mexico and beyond.
Well, that is one of the most foolish statements I have ever heard in my entire career. And Martha Raddatz is not, she's a smart woman. I work with her in Boston at Channel 5 up there. And she's basically saying, Joe Biden isn't the one that's sending a signal the border's open. It's you, Governor Abbott. And, the conservatives, they're the ones that are making everybody come up here with the open border scenario. And you go to yourself, do you have eyes, Ms. Raddatz? These pictures, all right, are sent all over the world of millions of people, 5 million since Biden's been inaugurated. Foreign nationalists have encountered Border Patrol. 5 million in less than 2 years. And Raddatz is going, no, it's not Biden who's making these people come. It's you, Governor Abbott and the conservatives. And you just go like this. That is so colossally stupid. And she is not a stupid woman. All right, she's a leftist, no doubt about it. And she works for Disney, which is about as liberal as it gets on a corporate level. But I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? Now, just let me prove my point here. The Biden administration every single day does not enforce immigration law. Just doesn't enforce it. And here is the key. Immigration law says, quote, to lawfully enter the United States, a non-citizen must apply and present himself or herself in person to an immigration officer at a U.S. port of entry when the port is open for inspection. That is the law. But for the Biden administration, if you're caught wandering around the desert somewhere or coming over the Rio Grande and you get 1 foot on U.S. soil and say, I want asylum, they let you in. That's a clear violation of the stated immigration law. So there's no debate about it. Now, I get mail going, well, why can't Biden be prosecuted? Because not enforcing the law is not a crime. It's not. If it were, half the DAs in the country would be in a penitentiary because they have what they call discretion under the law. Now, can you impeach Biden? In a heartbeat. And if the Senate and House were controlled by Republicans, he'd get convicted. They boot him on this because he is absolutely failing to uphold his oath. His oath is, I, Joe Biden, will uphold the laws of the United States. He is not. Am I clear on this? Is everybody clear? Somebody get a message to Martha Raddatz. Okay, there are 51 ports of entry on the southern border. 51. So it's not like they're hard to get to. They're not. But these people don't want to go there because then they get into the bureaucracy. They might be sent back. And you know, if they can get in here, Biden will let them stay. And it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they have 18 felonies in Honduras because the U.S. government can't check them out. Most of them don't even have ID. They don't even, it's like, oh, my name's Jose. All right, and that's it. Now, El Paso, the city, has declared a state of emergency because they're overwhelmed by this. And that's a big city. And the mayor there says, look, we can't handle the amount of people. His name is Oscar Leeser. So we have a state of emergency because we have 40% more migrants in October than we had in October 21. 40% more. And they keep coming thousands every day to the El Paso sector. Why El Paso? Because that's where the cartel is. El Paso Juarez. The cartel controls the whole town of Juarez. Mexican cartels. So what is a state of emergency? It means that the city of El Paso can bus migrants other places without the federal government's approval. It's a big mess. The city of El Paso has no resources to do any of that, but this is a symbolic gesture. Okay, so summing up, why did Martha Raddatz take that tact? Because that is the tact of ABC News. That's what they believe. And they're going to protect Joe Biden no matter what he does. They're going to protect him. Okay? It's clear. And CBS is going to do it, and NBC is going to do it, and CNN is going to do it. No matter what he does, they'll protect him. Now, what is going to happen, I predict now, is over Christmas and the holiday, you're going to see the network news report on the border, but from a humanitarian point of view. Look at these poor people. They're freezing cold. They don't have enough to, there's 5-year-old Sally, doesn't have enough to eat, trying to get sympathy for the migrants so that they make it easier for them to get in here. That's what you're going to see, rather than what I just did, saying, what the deuce is the President of the United States doing not enforcing border law? What is he doing? If you are stuck in a timeshare and you haven't called Lone Star Transfer yet, what are you waiting for? Lone Star Transfer has helped more than 16,000 happy customers. They are family owned, have a 99% success rate. Their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. I mean, does it get better than that? The team at Lone Star Transfer will keep you informed every step of the way until you are legally and permanently released from your timeshare. So don't pay another penny for a timeshare you don't use. Get peace of mind today with Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Give Lone Star Transfer a call for a free no-obligation consultation. 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. Okay. I got to get to my pal, James Buchanan. Put him on up. James Buchanan was President of the United States from 1856 to 60. Okay? He was the worst president by far in the history of our republic because he allowed the South, the southern states, to loot Union depots, to disrespect the federal government, en masse, he allowed the buildup to the Civil War. Okay? And then Lincoln got elected and comes in, and all hell breaks loose because Buchanan didn't care, just as Biden doesn't care, about the South's insurrection. He didn't care. He did nothing. Now, I can prove it. In my collection of historical artifacts, I have a letter from Harry Truman. Throw it on up. Okay? So a woman writes to Truman, and she says, what about Buchanan and the Civil War? And Truman writes back, if old Buck, that's his nickname, Buchanan, had the cojones, he didn't use that word, Truman, but that's what he's saying, of Andrew Jackson, the Civil War might have been averted, which is absolutely true. If you had Jackson in front of Lincoln, Andrew Jackson, he never would have allowed the South to gather in strength to defy the federal government, because once you defy the federal government, then everybody in the South goes, we can do this. We can do this. We can separate. They're not going to do anything, or we'll kick their butt if they try. Instead of sending federal troops and force en masse down to the South and stopping it in its infancy. Okay, so Truman and everybody else who knows the country and knows what happened knows that Buchanan was the worst. And he was the worst because he didn't care. He was a coward or whatever it may be. I don't know what his inner thoughts were, but I do know for 4 years he sat on his expansive butt and did nothing. Just as Biden is doing that now in very, very serious things for this country. Okay, that's the memo. Now let's go to Trump. Not a lot new on the Trump front. We went over this last night on the No Spin News. You premium members and concierge members, you can access the No Spin News anytime you want. If you missed it, I think we had very, very good analysis of the referral, the criminal referral to the Justice Department about Donald Trump. So Mitch McConnell was asked about this, all right, and here's what he said, quote, the entire nation knows who is responsible for that day, January 6th. Beyond that, I don't have any immediate observations. That is an irresponsible statement by Senator McConnell, okay? Trump was not responsible for the riot at the Capitol. He didn't do what he should have done by immediately calling for his followers to stand down. He didn't do that. But he didn't want that to happen, and he panicked when it did happen because they were his people doing it. That's what happened. When McConnell says the entire nation knows who's responsible for that day, that's because McConnell hates Trump. Just that statement means McConnell is no longer qualified to be the minority leader in the Senate, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I don't like this guy. You know I don't like him because of Kate's Law. We've gone over that. But he now is hurting the Republican Party. All right? He's got to step aside. You need new, younger blood in that position. And I'm not a party guy. I couldn't care less what they do inside the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. I don't care. I'm a registered independent. Keep an eye on all of them. All right, now on the criminal justice front, Illinois on January 1st knocks out all bail. Okay? So there's no more bail in the state of Illinois. And the Chicago drug gangs are celebrating. They'll have a very, very fun New Year's Eve. Going, hey, we're not going to give bail. Okay, we can do whatever we want, then they're not going to hold us. Have a gun, they won't hold us. Sell heroin, nope, not holding us. Now, the law says that the individual judges in Illinois, all right, are responsible for remanding to custody the person arrested or not. So what you'll have is in the southern part of Illinois, the more conservative part, the judges will remand. But in Chicago, Cook County, and where the real crime is, most of those liberal judges, doesn't matter. Go ahead, we'll see you in 5 months for your hearing. State of Illinois. More people per capita are leaving Illinois than any other state. All right? New York and California, numbers, they're the leaders. But percentage-wise, Illinois, it's draining out of that state because it's so crazy. Stanford University, very fine university, or it used to be. I took a year and a half to study harmful language, okay? The Elimination of Harmful Language Initiative. So a bunch of these pinheads got together and they go, we're going to have language that we are going to be suggested not used at Stanford. Now, I took my son to Stanford when we were touring colleges because it really is, or was, an excellent school. Both of us said, no, too woke, too crazy. All right, now here are the harmful words, some of them. You don't want to say American on the college campus of Stanford. You replace it with U.S. citizen. Why? Because people in Central and South America are Americans too, and we're slighting them by appropriating the term American. Immigrant, nope. A person who has immigrated. Prisoner, nope. A person who is incarcerated, not a prisoner. Homeless person, nope. A person without housing. Handicap parking, nope. Accessible parking, not handicapped. Nobody's handicapped. Committed suicide, oh no, died by suicide. Blind review, anonymous review. Tone deaf, unenlightened. Can't use blind or deaf, nope. Addict, no. Person with a substance abuse disorder. And the word brave is out. They don't have a synonym for brave. They just don't say brave. I guess it's because of Indians, but I'm not sure. Stanford University. About $80,000 a year to go there. There is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers, rewrite American history, and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. The very freedoms secured by our Constitution are now being threatened by the most liberal leftists our nation has ever seen. They have failed to secure our borders, weakened our position on the global stage, are trying to indoctrinate and corrupt our children in school, and the list goes on and on. But there are plenty of patriots with the courage to stand up to the far left. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in the USA. I am a member, and I hope you will join as well. AMAC members have access to money-saving benefits, a robust website and mobile app, and a magazine filled with all kinds of great content. So please join AMAC today at amac.us and tell them O'Reilly sent you. That's amac.us. All right, here's the final thought of the day. I get a lot of mail about finance. You know, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? People are panicking. Okay, I can't give you financial advice, but I can tell you what I am doing. And that's what I do to concierge members. So the concierge members send me, they're like, I have this, and this. So what should I do? And then I say, here's what I would do. But I'm not telling you to do it. It's a subtle distinction, I know. But there's a lot of panic about money because Biden is such a poor president. He's not going to get any better. Interest rates went up 0.5 point yesterday. Stock market went down. Wild swings in the stock market. And all I can tell you is this. This is what I'm doing. Nothing. I haven't bought a stock in months. All right? I'm not buying into, well, if you invest now, 18 years from now, it might be, no. It's too unstable. The stocks that I do have, all right, I have stop loss on. So if they hit a certain point, okay, it automatically sells. The ones that I have losses on that haven't hit the stop, I'm just going to sit on it. Okay, because I do believe the market will come back and nobody's ever going to know when. These charlatans, they get on TV and tell you, it's going to come back. They don't know. Nobody knows it's going to be a recession. They don't know how bad, if there is one. Unemployment's probably going to rise, but nobody knows. So to me, I'm not a panic kind of guy. Okay? I'm not. I'm a methodical guy. I'm holding what I have. I am not buying equities now. Bonds, I see a good bond, particularly a municipal bond that's tax-free, I'll take a look at it. But it's got to be at a discount. That's called buying below par. Won't buy above par. We gave you the U.S. savings bond tip. That was a tremendous tip, but you can only invest $10,000. Okay, check that out. But just the best thing to do right now is nothing. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We will see you on Monday. Important column, Sunday noon. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Interest rates skyrocketing. We all know that. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, not only predict a recession, but are using scary terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. So, you need to call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Please call them today, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers. They're the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532.